Well, hi there. So I got two guitar necks today for super cheap on OfferUp or something like that. Went and picked them up after work. They're sitting right here. One of them is this Stratocaster neck. Ooh, custom shop. But don't get too excited because this is definitely not a real custom shop. I'll talk about that in a second. And then this other one, it's like some kind of a roasted maple Telecaster neck. But if I can get these for cheap, I buy them up because it's fun to make parts casters. This one has a nasty crack right here. I think that's part of why I got it for so cheap. And what happened is, I can almost guarantee you, somebody more than likely tried to screw a screw into that without lubricating the screw. I know that's like a weird way to put that. And without drilling a pilot hole. And what happens when you do that is it'll expand in the wood too quickly and then it splits. But that's fixable. The reason that this is worth saving is because I've noticed that the frets on this, if you look at the ends of them, they're like bullets. The frets are really, really smooth. And that's one of the things I always look for a quality guitar neck. You should be able to run your fingers up and down the edges and it should feel really, really smooth. And like when you look at these close, I mean, there's no tooling markings or anything like that. So these are like really nice frets on a totally no-name neck. The guy who I got these from told me that this was the nicer neck. And even though it's prettier, it's got like flame maple and stuff, the fretwork is not nearly as good. If you look really close, you'll see like the frets are kind of sloped. Then they have edges on them. And it seems like a really minor detail, but it definitely is a major contributor to how well a neck plays and feels. And so that's, for me, is one of the major dead giveaways that this is not a custom shop neck, even though it has the custom shop decal and serial. Those are fake or they're copied or something. Also, the decal I've noticed is like on top of the finish. I can feel that with my thumb. So there's some attention to detail things. This nut is definitely plastic and is not well formed or cut. It's really, see how it's all boxy? So I'll probably have to like put a new nut in there. You know, it's just the detail things. Serial number like that on custom shop, it wouldn't just start with US. So this is like an American serial number, but definitely not a custom shop number. So, but it's a fun neck. It's got a nice feeling profile. It's pretty. The fretwork is like so-so, but it can be fixed. But anyway, this is the topic of the video though at hand. How are we gonna fix this bad boy? This is a really simple, easy process. So the cool thing about working with wood is if you crack it or bust it, there's ways that you can work around that. So, and I'm learning that. So here's what I've got. A vise. This is just like a typical vise that I got on Amazon. Got this rag, and this is just to protect the neck because I'm going to put it in there to secure it. I've got these screws that fit, these holes. These would hold the neck plate on in the neck. Got this piece of soap. I've got a screwdriver. I've got some guitar picks, and I've got this piece of paper. It's actually the instructions from a wiring diagram. You don't need to know what it is, but that's what the piece of paper is. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw this in the vise. I'm gonna tighten it down just to where it's like kind of snug. You don't wanna like Incredible Hulk this thing because you'll crack it, you'll ruin it. So you just wanna get it secured. Just so it's not flopping around. All right, then what I'm gonna do, take my screws, my bolts, whatever you wanna call them. I'm gonna soap them up like this. And I know this seems like a silly, dumb little thing, but whenever you're screwing screws or bolts into wood, just put a little bit of soap on them. Just a little bit will do ya, and it makes it go in so much easier. Huge difference. And it'll also, if the person who originally cracked this thing had done this, then maybe they wouldn't have cracked it at all, at all. But hey. All right, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to open this crack up just a hair so that I can get some Titebond in there. This is the product that you use to, like luthiers and stuff, use this stuff to fix guitars. It's just basically glue. I'm gonna take these screws and I'm just gonna screw them in snugly enough to kind of open that crack a little bit, gently. I don't want to wrench these down. I don't want to rush this. I certainly do not want to use a power tool of any kind. I just want to very slowly turn the screws until the crack starts to kind of open up. And I'm doing it on this side because I'm trying to distribute pressure. I don't want to put a whole bunch of pressure on this and then it like chips off. So I'm trying to distribute that out. You don't need to open it up a lot. You just need to open it a hair so you can get the glue down in there so it can do its thing. All right, that looks, I could probably do significantly more, but I don't want to push it. All right, now I've got that opened up a little bit. I'm gonna take my guitar pick and I'm just gonna gently stick that in there. Just wedge it in a little bit. These are glow-in-the-dark picks, so they'll work better. I've never done this before, by the way, but I'm, pretty confident this is gonna work. I think I got this down. All right, now, for safety, I'm gonna masking tape these areas on the sides off just to reduce how much glue I get on my neck. It's probably not gonna help a whole ton, but try to keep things tidy when you can. Some on the other side here. So once I've got that taped off, what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna put some glue in there. And I'm gonna try to use another pick to sort of, guide it into the crack. Get as much in there as I can, and then we'll go to the next step and see what happens here. Oh, yeah, that comes out really quickly. Working it a little bit. It's kind of nice that I don't remember it coming out this quick when I've used it before. But that was also in Washington where it's like, below freezing all the time. So I think maybe being in like the 1,000-degree garage maybe helped it flow a little better. All right. All right, let's get this other side here. Yeah, look at that. It's beautiful, beautiful thing right there. Yeah, it's filling in there nicely. My tape is kind of not really doing a whole heck of a lot, but close enough. You making faces at me? All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so now that I've got that in there, I'm gonna pull this pick out. Let's see if I can get a little bit more down in there. I thought about not doing anything with this, but then I saw as soon as you start to put screws in, it starts to open. It's just, I don't know if I can have that on my conscience when I play it, I feel like it would haunt my dreams. Just be thinking about it every time I play it, breaking. And it'd be my fault for ignoring the warning, right? Now what I'm gonna do is wipe off the excess from the surface. Using a towel. I'm gonna leave the masking tape on. I'm gonna loosen up my vise now. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this upside down so that the vise is squeezing on it, squeezing it together in place. I'm gonna put a little more pressure on it this time. I'm doing the frets up so that I don't squish the frets when I tighten this. Just, an additional precaution. So frets are up, get that thing in there good and straight, and then we're just gonna tighten it up here. Squeezing my frets. These are such nice frets, I hate the room. Okay, pretty considerable, good amount of pressure on there, and then I'll just leave that overnight. And then when I'm done, I'll flip this over, use a piece of sanding paper, and get rid of any excess glue if there's any that's on there. Get it really good and smooth, and then I'll put it on my next project. So fast forward, it's been sitting here for about 14 hours clamped. So I'm just going to go ahead and unclamp it here. Whoops, let's see how it turned out. A little bit of tape here. And yeah, as you can see, it's pretty tight. I'm definitely gonna have to sand this to get it nice and smooth and flat. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's seeped down. This was the worst part of it right here. So the other thing too you can do with these is you can put dowels in these holes and then glue them in with that same Titebond. I've even done it with toothpicks before. It actually works. Sand them down, and then you can re-drill if you need to. I don't know if these holes are going to line up with the body that I used, but if they don't, that's something that I'll definitely do. So yeah, there you go. That's how you fix that little problem on this otherwise really nice neck. So more on this when I put it on something. Have a good one.